episode of the Hang Loose podcast. Today in English, yeah, maybe for runaways, maybe not. I'm not quite sure. We try our very, very best. I'm here again with Momo. You should know him from our nutrition episodes. Hi, Momo.
Hello, everyone. Really nice to have you to be back on the podcast with Torsten, and really excited for today. What's coming up?
Yeah, today we are in English because we want to reach a bigger audience. We'll come to that point later. And to introduce Momo, he has a very, very interesting biography. He started up being an engineer for electronic, the same as me, working in, I think it was sales department. And then started working with me for his wish to qualify for Kona, what we reached, and he has been in Kona, and in that process, he really liked the process of coaching and became a coach. We're working together in camps, and we have a weekly meeting, so where we feed our ideas. And today is a very interesting podcast because he is an athlete, he is a coach, and now he is an organizer of a new triathlon, a middle distance triathlon in Bulgaria. He meanwhile he settled back to Bulgaria to build up a community in Bulgaria of triathletes. It's a rather small triathlon community, but it's growing day by day. Also because he's back, and now he's planning that triathlon. He will introduce it in a few seconds. And let me come to my first question. What's a triathlon about, Momo? And how did you come to that idea of organizing a triathlon, which is not the easiest idea in the world?
No, by any means, it's not easy. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, I did indeed started from the engineering background. Started as in the sales department of an engineering company, really small, and I came to you with a wish to qualify for Kona and go there, and we did that. We did that beautifully. And in the process of getting there, I realized that sport is really my passion, and I wanted that's what I ultimately wanted to be and to do, and to pursue a career in that direction was what I found out to be my dream. And step by step, I became a coach. I did certain certification just to learn more, and read a lot of books, and just to learn about the training process behind the whole, just going out there and doing some activities. But the whole idea was, I was back there in Germany, studying and then working for quite some time, and then I decided to go back. I'm originally from Bulgaria, so I came back to Bulgaria. I settled in, and I've been looking at the triathlon scene around here. It's very very small, and it's just the beginning of what's going to get bigger. There is the interest from people, and there are people are more and more interested into um, just triathlon in general, but the demand is comparatively big, but the supply of races and coaches and just events and information is comparatively small for that market. So I saw a margin there, a gap that I could, with my gathered knowledge and experience, and with work with you, just giving so much input and information, just exchanging ideas, so I could present those experiences and knowledge to the Bulgarian audience and just help the community grow. But also there is, I wouldn't lie if there are like, I don't know, overall in total, like everyone involved, it's like probably around 1,000 people, everyone combined, all ages, with the kids and with everyone. That's the maximum that you can get, that people that know what triathlon is around here. And it's getting bigger, but you can imagine throughout all the distances that you have, the sprint all the way to Ironman distance and probably beyond, like 1,000 people is not that big of an audience compared to the German market, where 1,000 is just probably it's just Stuttgart is around 1,000 Ironmans, simply, not to count the other distances. So there I saw the market, that's the demand. And there is none in here, there is no like road triathlon beyond Olympic distance. So no middle or full distance. Back in, I researched the internet, there was like 3 middle distance events the last 20 years, maybe. We're talking about road distance, like not the mountain, not the stereotype, but just road distance, like 3. But the last 3 or 4 years, no one has organized. And I decided, well, why not give it a go? I mean, the Greek do it, Romanians have some, the Turkish people have amazing races, so why not do it around here? And here we are on 27th July, so 7th month, July, we are going to organize a middle distance race in a lake around here. Beautiful scenery in the middle of the Rhodope Mountains. Batak is the city. We are currently talking with the whole municipality and all the different parties that are going to be involved. It's gonna be a big challenge for me as a new challenge as an organizer. Nothing to compare it with being an athlete. Just totally different.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just a comparison. You said that there are 1,000 triathletes in Bulgaria, and one of the biggest clubs in Germany. It's also a football club, Eintracht Frankfurt. I think you all know Eintracht Frankfurt from the European League and so on. They also have a triathlon department, and they have 1,400 members. So
that's crazy.
The whole Bulgarian company and some more.
The Bulgarian scene is more.
What's the? But how is that community? How would you describe the community? Is it that there are just a lot of beginners, or is the mixture of all kind of athletes? Are there pro athletes also in Bulgaria, or let's say half pros? I think when we did the Kona thing, you have been the first long distance triathlete from Bulgaria that qualified. There has been one who came to Kona in a different way, but how is that community? Is there a networking in the community? Are the guys helping each other? How many coaches are available? Can you describe it a little bit? What's going on in Bulgarian triathlon community?
Like most of the communities, like most of the people that are together, it's as I said, it's fairly new. So most of them are in the younger sections. So middle ages and older are a little bit less. From that, let's say it's 1,000 people, and most of them are pretty new to the sport. They're like just normal people, working class, and they just find it interesting to combine the three sports and just practice it, coming from different backgrounds. Some are coming from swimming, some are coming from running, a few are coming from cycling, and just find it interesting to be there. But I guess so. There are a couple of pretty good amateurs, but we don't have an official pro level. A guy, a youngster or two are have a decent chance of qualifying for the Olympics, the next one, so in 2028, and that's what they're competing for. But that's maybe the top guys up there, like I think two male, like 20-year-olds. As far as the support for the community, it's just something. It's quite funny. I started a group in Facebook for I named it Ironman and Ironman 70.3, just road racing, middle and long distance triathlon for Bulgaria. So everything in there is Bulgarian. It's an open group. You can use the Facebook translation to join and just see what's up. And I started that group in November last year. And up to that point, we have, I think we're very close to hitting the 500 people. So for that community to have half of the Bulgarian community having in that group, and it's an engaging group, like people are posting, commenting, and sharing their knowledge. It's very, very motivational for me just to see that people are coming together and want to grow together, and just beautiful community.
Yeah, great. I got an invitation from you, and I think I joined the group a few days ago. So I will take a look to that, and maybe help also with some good advice.
Sure, go ahead. I mean,
yeah.
with Google, with Facebook translation, it's pretty accurate. I was fascinated how accurate. How I can join Greek groups, I can join Spanish groups, and either although I don't know the language, if you hit the C translation, you can see it in English, and it's pretty accurate. You get the idea. So you can join.
Yeah. I can join, and maybe I will provide some very nice 80s music playlists, because it's also very important.
Go do that.
That's a running gag between us. We share a lot of ideas, and but we don't share the same music, Momo and me. So that's a running gag. So just for the audience. Okay, so what about these not professional, but the Olympic qualifiers, about the guys? Isn't it a good idea to invite them for your triathlon? Did you already do that? Will they come? And yeah,
I did, but it's so first it's middle distance, so it's not their like their main focus. It's the middle of the summer, so it's a little bit so to speak, it's in the middle of the season. So there, if you want to qualify for the Olympics, you have a very specific goals and races you want to target, that you want to go there, so you can earn points. So for them, it's not just crossing the finish line, getting a personal best. It's just, if you want to qualify for the Olympics, it's beating other people so that you can get the points to earn the total amount of points that get you that slot to qualify. And of course, I've talked to them, and we know each other, but I guess they have just different priorities. It's nothing. And to be honest, if I were in their shoes, just, every race in terms of an athlete, every race is a kind of risk, right? So training is risky, going out there, just being out there, everything could happen. And racing is a little bit more risk added to that. So if you want to, it's not just finishing and getting the enough gratitude for just crossing the finish line. but it's more like racing, pushing that edge. It's a little bit risky, so I wouldn't, in their shoes, I probably would think twice about joining for a race just for the fun of it. And to be honest, they have 1 week later, it's the national championship on Olympic distance. So they want to earn points there. So I guess that's another reason they're thinking twice about preparation and like taking part on a half distance race a week before the national championship on Olympic distance. Sure, they can do it, but at the end of the day, they're racing for points. They're racing for first and second, and that's
for
you
sure.
want to be on your top shape.
Sure, but maybe they will come up and take a look or visit the organization. Let's see, and if the competition establishes, then maybe they will start in a few years, because everybody the time of everyone ends in the Olympic triathlon or in the Olympic story at one day, and then they are looking for other distances. So maybe that's a good idea to get in contact with them and to let them know about it. But when we think about training and we think about coaching, there are difficulties. You know them very well. I think in organization of a camp, I know what are the difficulties in organization of a camp, but competition is even, I think, from my point of view, more difficult than the camp, because you have to think about so many things, sponsors,
safety,
then safety and so on.
Yes.
What are the main hurdles, or what are the highest mountains to climb in your organization of that event? And maybe also an additional question: what is more difficult than you thought when you first thought about organizing that event? So what is surprisingly difficult?
Well, what's more difficult than so being an athlete, it's quite a challenge. But it's most of it is you can control. You can control when you go out to have a bike ride. You can control the other stuff. But if you're an organizer, there are a lot of other aspects. If you're organizing a camp, you can control most of the things, so obviously the weather and whatnot, it's not one of them, but how the program and the people are going to go from one day to the next it's mostly in your control, I would say. But if you're organizing a race, just getting I didn't thought that getting the permissions to do that would be that tough. So I just thought, oh well, we come up and we just swim in a lake, we ride our bikes and we run a little and we're all good. At the end of the day, we nothing too crazy. But when we're talking about like a couple of people, let's say 50 people, 100 people, and you want to organize a race and you want to close the streets in the middle of the summer, it's getting crazy. Like maybe the community, like the officials will say, oh well, the race, you're getting some tourists and stuff like that, but you're closing the main road for the hotels and restaurants around there and saying, oh well, yeah, it's main season, but you will stop the people from coming just because we have a race for 100 people, and say, oh no, wait a second, it's the main season, we're making money here. So they're not they don't care really. So there is the communication with that. And that's, I mean, you have to negotiate, like what is it that they want? So they want the tourists and people coming in just to the restaurant. If you have a restaurant in the middle of the high season and somebody comes up and says, well, one day of the high season, we're going to close the road so nobody can pass and you have no clients. He said, oh, wait. I don't care what the municipality, if they allow for the or the police, I want people in. And that's understandable. I mean, the people have to make money. It's the high season, so that they can't really compensate that in the winter. And we have to negotiate and say, oh, well, look at it this way. We're going to bring in some more people, the athletes and their friends and family are going to be there. And getting the sponsors is another part. So the expenses is just crazy. You gotta in a camp, you gotta think of a hotel. That's probably the main expense. You know that. I mean, you're probably the guy to ask for a camp, but the hotel and probably some other equipment that you would need. But that's you can get an offer. But here you got the medals, you got the safety guys, so the medical tent at the start. You got safeguards in the water because you can't just let 100 people in the water and say, oh, well, you're on your own. Just figure it out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sure.
that's
Police maybe for the.
You have to pay for the police. You got to pay for the what else? I don't know. The starting the start bags, and you got to pay for the racks. For the bikes, you got to pay for the carpet, you got to pay for this and that and the other thing. And there are not expenses that you cannot in the beginning you cannot predict with 100% certainty what that expenses are going to be, and you have to set the entry fees prices right from the beginning. So a tricky situation, I would say. And getting the sponsor is another thing that you have to convince people that what you're doing is it's going to turn out great and a lot of people are going to show up and it's going to be great commercial for them. And some of the local businesses are eager to do that, and we got a deal with the hotel there just to give some percentage of their stay for the athletes, so athletes can stay there on a cheaper price. But not everyone is like that, and so you got to figure that one out. Definitely a different set of challenges than being an athlete or organizing a camp.
Okay, and I think the advantage of our talk today is that many athletes can change their point of view a little bit, because I know that a lot of athletes are thinking not so good about some organizers, but I think especially the organizers of the small triathlons, the triathlons without the big marks Ironman or challenge, doing good work and hard work. So what I like to say to the audience, think about that and honor that in a way that you say, also say thank you to the organizers. Did you manage to take the main road for the bike course, or have you to use some smaller routes and not going through the main part of the city? What's the bike course about?
The course question is a really tricky one. So once I got the idea, okay, I want to organize the half distance race, it was all about but where? So you have to find some body of water, like fresh, salty, doesn't matter, sea, lake, ocean, whatever you can find. We have a sea here, we have a lot of lakes.
River.
Okay, river, also a possible option. That body of water needs to be clean enough so you can swim in it, and safe enough so that you can swim in it. So no whirlpools or some dangerous currents, that it's okay for the athletes to swim. So that's the first part. Second part is you have to be, if you're organizing a road triathlon, you have to have a pretty close access to asphalt road that is preferably long enough. So I wouldn't prefer to race a bike course that's 90 kilometers long on a 5-kilometer loop. You know what I mean? So that would be like crazy.
Yeah,
running in a circle
I
like a
know
mouse.
guys that do it that way. In the earlier years, we had an event organizer here in Germany who did it that way. It was 5K loops and doing it again and again and again.
Again
Or
and again. So
one
yeah,
crazy event was going up a mountain, going down, going up, going down. So that's a good thing that you're or it's a quality issue of your competition that you think about a nice and interesting course.
Yeah, and so from an organizational standpoint, you can do a like close a 5 kilometers loop on the road. That's easy, probably easier than closing a 40 kilometers loop. But the first year we're gonna have 100 athletes, and the next year they're gonna be like 50, because most of them say it's not really spectacular loop. I don't enjoy the race. So you gotta provide an experience for the athletes. So that's the second point. You have to find a long enough loop that A, close, B, that have a nice asphalt. It's a bit difficult for a road race to be on a, like if you're organizing a cross country, that's different. You can close almost, it's easier to close the road from just some random road that nobody uses really. But if you're closing a road that's asphalt road, you gotta have the permission. So we are using like 6 kilometers of a pretty main road. That's gonna be a challenge to close. We are almost at a permission point. We got the permission, and then we're gonna the other part of the loop. It's gonna be 2 loops around that lake. Very beautiful, and from there it's out of the main road. It's still a good asphalt. You can ride there, but it's off the main road, so the permission there is we got that a little bit easier. And the third part, the third discipline for the run, even if you have the lake that's, or the body of water that's safe enough to swim in, and you have the asphalt, you want to have at the same, preferably at the same point, so you have only one transition zone that you have to set up. Preferably at the same area that you swim, you want to have like somewhere to run, and that's preferably again not a 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer loop. It's more like, I don't know, 7, so that you have like only to do it 3 times for a half distance. And that's another thing that you have to consider. Where can I put the athletes? And on top of that, preferably it's not like in the middle of nowhere, like in the middle of the field. You want to put them somewhere where there is a little bit of, I don't know, engagement in some form, that other people can look, and just there is some atmosphere for the running part of it. Of course, you can put them to run in the middle of nowhere. It's still going to be asphalt, but if there is no one around for like 20 kilometers, it's pretty lonely, so you don't get the same experience. So always thinking from the athlete point, how can I make the experience from the whole race the best? And then switching back your organizational hat and thinking, where can I find that place, and how easy or how hard it's going to be to get the permission to close the road so that the athletes can start there. So a lot of challenges there.
Yeah, and you also advertise triathlon. So when there are spectators, so guys who have never seen a triathlon before, but watching it, I think that there are some of them who say, "Hey, that's interesting, crazy, and I like to do that also. Next year, I will join." So I think that's a great thing for the whole triathlon in Bulgaria. So it's a chance to double your community. So you will see a lot of guys will come to you and tell you, "I want to do exactly what they do." No matter if it's a half distance, or not. But it's, from my point of view, it's a really great thing. And how do the athletes, how does the community react on that idea?
Well, almost all
of
of them
the
are
competition.
the competition. So almost all of them are positive, and they just. I had the sense that there was a need for a middle distance. So almost all of them were positive, and everyone was encouraging. Yeah, great job, do it. Obviously, not everyone from the community can join. That's perfectly normal. It's the middle of the season. Some people have it. On my point, that's on me. We decided it pretty late, so to speak. We decided to do that and announce it I think in April, something. So it's pretty late. Most of the people have already planned their racing and vacation season. Just recreational people, just taking vacation, going somewhere without the sport aspect with their families. As crazy as this may sound, I don't know, so who would do that? Without going on a vacation, without training, that sounds absurd to me. No, just kidding. But the athletes most of them were supportive, and whoever wanted to join has reached out and just signed up for the race. And people are still coming and finding new people are finding about that race, and we are announcing it in Greece and Serbia and Romania and in Turkey. So we have some additional athletes joining, and it's a beautiful thing. For the next year, probably announce it a little bit earlier so that people can plan it in advance and be prepared and join us.
Yeah, and the audience of the podcast will know the race. And I told you, next year we will come with a small Tri Academy community from Germany, but we are willing to join. Yeah, sounds really good.
Perfect, amazing. Looking forward.
And I will bring my music.
Oh boy! Oh, next year we have a different challenge: the music. Oh man!
All right. So now it I think it seems to you like a dream becoming true step by step. The first competition maybe it's the most difficult one, and I really hope that everything runs good, so that you decide to bring it back next year. Where do you want to stand in let's say 3 or 4 years? What's your long time or midterm thoughts, ideas for the competition? Maybe, yeah, it's the first middle distance. So my first idea is that's the national championship. So maybe the Triathlon Union of Bulgaria will decide also to do a national championship. Or have you ever thought about such things? So where do you want to be in, let's say 3 years?
A great question. I have definitely some ideas. Some of them are like crazy, but like, yeah, I definitely want to build. It's crazy how fast it's getting traction. I definitely want to build the community, to grow it, to have more and more people engage in the sport at whatever level. I don't really judge anyone if it's just beginner, just crossing that finish line. If it's I want to do a personal best, I want to set a national record. I don't judge. It's just having fun in the sport. Um, yeah, it's a lot of directions that this could go. So we can do um, like this is, yeah, as you said, the first one is really the most challenging one, because you set the ground for what's coming, and it's just the unknown of how it's done, what challenges are there. Next one is definitely going to be better than this one. That's just by definition. And I always start with when I look, I'm obviously coming from Ironman background, so we have like 1,000, 2,000 athletes up there, like transition zones, 1 kilometer long, and then just crazy stacked field. But I want to, I always remember, just keep reminding myself, Ironman in Kona in 78 was like 40 people. 40 people started in Kona in 78, and now it's like every year there are like 5,000 athletes going there. Like, that's the elite of the elite.
Mm-hmm.
So the very best get to go to Kona just in nowadays just World Championship. So I just remind myself, I don't want to. Probably this could go like in 40 years, this could go to like 2,000 people, who knows. But for now, in 3 years, I just look at it as just expanding and doing some cooperation with other nations. Why not organize a just Balkan championship? Like the Greek have middle distance, as I said, the Romanian have middle distance, the Serbian have middle distance. So why not organize a a Balkan championship where it's like points and some kind of point system that you can earn, like you get the Balkan champion and stuff like that. Or this could expand in a way that it's multiple middle distance races inside of Bulgaria. Why not? In 3 years, I guess what's probably realistic, we wouldn't be at that point yet, but it's getting there, and in the sense that it's gonna be so people will, most of the athletes will know about it. They're gonna plan it in the ones that are interested in road racing. They're gonna plan for certain. They will know the date that's gonna be, or the time frame that it's gonna be around the years that they're gonna plan it in their calendar. It's gonna grow bigger and bigger, and there's also on the local scene, there is this cross ultra triathlon, and that they started, I think, with probably around 30 people, like 8 years ago. And last weekend they had a race, which was like 400 people raced. Now, mind you, that was like 100 of them were just relays, so that's not only triathletes. Part of them just swimmers, just runners and stuff like that. But still, going from 30 to like 400, it's still a big gap for 8 years. It's still a big jump. So I believe there is, and once the community has grown and it's getting traction, I believe that we can get there as well in a certain amount, and probably in 2, 3, 4 years we can be there as well.
Yeah, also the chance there is a chance for that in my point of view, because the first middle distance, the first longer distance in Bulgaria, the good thoughts about the Balkan Championship. I really like that. And do you also have relays in the race?
We do have relays. Yeah, some people are just they messaged me as we announced we're going to organize this race, and some people messaged me, oh, can I just do the road racing part? I really enjoy it, but I can't swim. But I have a good friend that can swim, so can we do a relay? And so we said, why not? I mean, why just save the people the experience that they could have if they do it in a relay, and just say, no, you have to do all the 3 disciplines. It's just from an organizational standpoint, it makes a little to no difference.
And the relay is often the first step into triathlon. So they say, I can run, and if I can run, I can also cycle a little bit. I will learn to swim, and next year I'll be back and doing the whole thing in one. That's I really like that, because now when I started triathlon over 20 years ago, we also had that small competitions, and it was like an adventure starting there, and I can feel that spirit when I think about your competition, and damn that I cannot take part this year, because it's my season, my vacation, and also all that stuff is already planned. But yes, hooray! I hope that we can come next year and join that thing. So would be a
only if you bring
real
your music.
highlight. Yeah,
But if you
I will. So we will make a big party the day before. So we will have a pasta party. Nobody makes pasta parties, but we will have a pasta and 80s parties. So yeah,
big time.
That will make
right
that will even make that.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, that will make it even bigger. So also the 80s fans come there and say, oh, I want to do triathlon.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
No,
right next to the start, there's a camping ground. So just mind you that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's also good. So a lot of guys will maybe camp there, and I got to know that camping spirit last year in Roth. So I was just doing the bike part, but I said to myself, hey, let's go back to the roots and not go to an hotel and so on. And I brought my tent. I was the only one with a tent. So all the guys were there with mobile homes, but I had a tent. So it was very, very great, close to the swim start in Roth, and that's great spirit. So I'll bring my tent next year.
I'll join you for Roth on the tent. In the tent.
Yeah, I know it will be. We have a great time in Roth, and I really, really like your competition and your plan and your idea, and I wish you only the best for that. So hope that everything works fine. I know that you need a good safety concept, and but I think if all that you said, you have the safety for swimmers, you have the safety for the road, and so on, and I think also an assurance for organization. Yeah, sure. So let's hope that that the Bulgarian community first joins, and that also our talk here, our podcast, helps a little bit to bring that spirit. And what I really like to say to other people, just imagine what an organization of a triathlon costs, not only how many money, but only how many hours and nerves and so on it costs, and think a little bit in a different way about the guys who organize it. And if something if something goes wrong, that's not really bad. But if something goes wrong and something is not working perfect, just think about that. What we told you today here, and and just don't take it too serious. That's also the spirit of triathlon. Don't take everything so serious. Enjoy a race and enjoy a competition. Do a friendly competition. Help your help other guys who struggle on the road or on the course. I hope that this is going on in that day when there's your competition. What about a name? That's the last question I have. Tree legend. I think you're awaiting that everything will be legendary. What's that? It's a good name. What's behind the name?
Oh, as we first announced it, it was this middle distance race in Batak, and we announced it as a middle distance race. We hadn't had a name, so we are playing with some thoughts and how should we call it? Should that be a word to just make up a word, or how should we situate it? And if you're thinking a little bit beyond just the name, you're guessing like going straight to a domain name service and just type in what your name should be and look if the domain would be free for a website. And we are playing with different names and how should we call it. And as with most ideas, it's just me and my friends were talking and just completely different topics, and just in the middle of something, somebody came with the idea, how about Three Legend? It's you're joking, like everyone is a legend and you name everyone a legend. And I said, well, this is not too far-fetched. I believe that's a good name. And we looked it up, and it's the domain name was free. So the domain for the website, if you're looking to sign up, it's three, so TRATRE dash minus legend.com, 3-legend.com. And it just came to be, and the logo it's just 3 dashes. It's really simple, really neat. We liked it that way. And just that's how it came to be. In the middle of a completely different conversation, we came with the name and said, oh, this is really bad. And if Ironman, when you finish an Ironman, they say you are an Ironman, we're gonna say you are a legend, and just legendary just fits with such different connotations, and you can spin it every way you want it, and the volunteers are gonna be legends, and just that's how the name came to be.
That's a great idea. I think also about merchandise articles. I'm a legend, or gonna be a legend in advance of the competition.
Yeah.
So also great. I see a competition, an event with good ideas, well planned, and also planned with a spirit behind that. I just can say to the audience of that podcast, go there, or if you can't go there, take a look to the webpage just before and also after the competition. Just see what happens, and plan to go there next year.
Can I add something?
Yes, sure.
If you have already your, like for the German audience and for your audience, your people, if you have your racing plan already planned out and you're just looking for an idea for a different location for a vacation, we are looking for some, you're very welcome. We'll gladly appreciate if you join us as a volunteer just on race day. You know, that's a legendary event like that needs legendary support. So we would gladly appreciate if you can join. The link to sign up as a volunteer will be, I'll send it out to you so you can add it to the description of this podcast, or you can just find me and just text me directly. I would answer as well. We would gladly appreciate. Just take your family with you. Just join us as a spectator. It's a great place. The mountain lake, beautiful scenery in the middle of the mountains, just great. It's like 1.5 hour from Sofia airport by car, and it's good roads. No problem there. You can find there if you need some accommodation, just you can find it online or you text me, I'll help you out. No worries. So if you're looking for an idea for a vacation, please join. End of July.
All right. You can also ask me, and I can forward everything to Momo, and really hope that you're interested in that competition, and was a great thing talking with you, Momo, about the competition, and I'm so interested, and I really like to go out now, take my bike and train for it. You got me completely. So I will tell the community to join, if not this year, next year for sure. And all the best wishes, and we will report on the race. Maybe we'll also do a podcast after the race to cover what happened and what was good, what was bad, what was your experience about that. So it's a good idea to have a second episode of that. All the best for the event. Good weather for sure, and a good audience, good spectators, good athletes. All the best. Thank you very much, Momo, to take us a little bit or to show us a little bit about the journey of being an organizer of an event. Your thoughts and your ideas, great. Thank you, and it's always a pleasure to have you in the podcast, even if it's nutrition or something else. Next week we'll have our weekly coffee call again and develop maybe some other ideas. So thank you for today. You have the last word.
Well, thanks a lot for the invitation. As always, I really appreciate it that you're taking the time, and we'll happy to see you next year, and some of the listeners probably even this year. So as I said, if you have any questions, any thoughts, or just anything, reach out to me or to Torsten. You can find me on the socials, whatever you prefer, and we have a chat. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, and always hang loose.